Push it back. Nice, good. Go back to correct, man. Yeah.
Oh, you get it?
Hey guys, how's it going? Luke here. The full patch has been released for Battlefield 4 and it is quite a big one this time. There's been many changes, mostly relating to vehicles, but there has been some changes that will affect people that don't use vehicles that much as well. DICE has released a large and detailed document that outlines the changes in the patch. I have included a link to the patch notes in the description. It seems that a programmer wrote the notes though, and some of the language can be a little confusing, such as referring to text as a string. The string now correctly says 14 seconds. Normal people would just say on-screen text now correctly shows 14 seconds, for example. Although it is good that they have released this information, as BF updates have not been that well documented in the past, in my opinion. They could do with a programmer translator though next time. The document is rather large and includes a lot of information, some of which may not be that clear unless you are experienced in using an item that has been patched, such as some of the finer points of air vehicle changes, for example. In this video I will talk about the main elements of the patch so that you don't have to read the guide in full detail if you don't want to. A new free DLC map has been released as well, Operation Outbreak, which you can see here. Check out my Unlock Bow Quick and Easy video for info on how to download the new map, the link is in the description. That video shows the new and very quick and easy way to obtain the Phantom Bow. In the patch there has been several alterations to infantry based weapons including shotguns. Buckshot and flechette ammo for shotguns now has reduced damage to make them less effective at medium ranges, and the UTS-15, Sega 12K, DOA-12, DBV-12 and M1014 have had reduced damage in order to balance them with other shotguns, and the Mare's Leg has been altered to do more damage at medium range. For Assault class, the M320 grenade launcher now fires its projectile faster, it does more damage, and also now has 3 instead of 2 magazines. The M320 Dart and M26 MASS are now more consistent as well. The Engineer class is the infantry class that has had the most changes. Rocket launchers that have the ability to lock on, including the SRAW, can no longer be fired from a passenger seat of vehicles. Non-lock-on launchers such as the SMAW still can though. DICE reckons this is to allow vehicles more of a chance to lose a lock on them, because otherwise vehicles with lock-on capable passengers could chase vehicles around the map. The Stinger now travels slower. Aircraft have more warning time for a Stinger lock and its range is reduced, but its damage has been increased quite a lot. The Igla has had similar changes, it now travels slower but does more damage. The SRAW now does less damage, it will no longer one-hit kill a scout heli or an attack heli, but it travels faster and the rocket can be turned a little more sharply. Many rocket launchers now take longer to resupply from an ammo pack. This change is very noticeable for regular launcher users such as myself, and means that you will be griefed by support players that don't put down ammo more than ever. AA mines can now be equipped alongside a rocket launcher. The lock-on time on AA mines is now instant and they do more damage. However, you can now only place 1 AA mine, not 2 anymore. C4 has been nerfed, it now does less damage, does less blast damage and takes longer to resupply from an ammo pack. The increased resupply time is very noticeable. This will very much affect the trollability of C4. The mortar has reduced time before it can be fired and the UCAV now does less damage, but its replenish time has been decreased. There's been some aspects of general gameplay that's been changed in the recent update as well. You can no longer see through smoke with FLIR or IRNV scopes, and players in the smoke will lose their Doritos as well. The minimap now shows the area that you need to be in to capture the flag. This is the same as it has been in Battlefield Hardline for a while now, and it is a welcome change in my opinion. The minimap now also shows if a player is higher or lower than you by showing a larger triangle for a higher player and a smaller one for a lower player. A squad leader replacement system has now been introduced to Battlefield. This means that if no orders are given by a squad leader, then he can be replaced as a squad leader if a squad member requests an order but none is given within 30 seconds. The person that requested the order will become the squad leader if no order is given within that 30-second time period. This is also a welcome change in my opinion. The marksman bonus has been removed, so no more additional points for long-range shots. Capturing the flag in conquest mode, bomb pickup possession and MCOM disarm and destroy points have all been increased. DICE claims that these changes should promote playing the objective more. 60Hz servers did have a few issues that should now be sorted, and Battlelog shows the tick rate of servers. Also, the pillbox structures will now allow bipods to be mounted on the windowsill. That is something that you would expect to be able to do, so I'm glad that this is sorted. The pillbox structure is something that appears frequently on maps such as Zavod 311. The biggest changes in the patch are all vehicle related. If you are big time into using vehicles of any types, then you should probably look at the notes for yourself. I decided not to mention everything as it's just too much information, but again I have tried to include all of the major information that will affect the majority of players. Active protection on ground vehicles now works better when your vehicle is moving and the area that it covers is slightly larger. Infantry fighting vehicles such as the LAV have had an increase in top speed and generally increased damage, however the APF SDS shell has reduced damage against tanks and canister shells has increased damage against helis. The coaxial LMG does not overheat as quickly and the 25mm HE shell does less damage against tanks now. Main battle tanks have an increase in top speed and have been made more similar between opposing forces. Main battle tanks now do less damage in general but reload faster, and on some weapons the projectile now travels faster as well. The gunner incendiary for both infantry fighting vehicles and main battle tanks has been improved quite a lot. The projectile now travels further, faster, burns longer, inflicts blast damage and reloads faster. This really has made a huge difference when using infantry fighting vehicle or main tank gunner. You can fire off lots of incendiary now, making the gunner far more effective. Mobile AA has been made less effective for the most part in an effort to stop mobile AA players from camping back from the action. Although the heat seekers now travel faster, do more damage and reload faster. This is also true of heat seekers in the stealth jet, the attack jet, and the scout heli and the attack heli. There are major changes for aircraft, the main one being that all aircraft can now lose a lock on them by low flying. 25 meters for a heli and 50 meters for a jet. However, this does not affect infantry-based lock-on rockets. Also, critical hits throw air vehicles off course a little less now. A critical hit will not make heli spin as much and jets pitch as much anymore, and countermeasures should now be more effective too. Jets have had a 20% increase in the amount of damage that they do to scout helis, but have had a reduction in the amount of damage that they inflict on fighting infantry vehicles and mobile anti-air. Stealth jets now carry twice as many AA missiles. This includes heat seekers, passive radar missiles, and active radar missiles. Attacks via laser designation will no longer one-hit kill aircraft, but laser designation now has more range apart from against jets. Boats can now go faster in reverse and have had a change in the way that damage levels inflicted on them are calculated. Damage levels on boats are now calculated using the angle of attack of a projectile's approach. You can see the angle calculations in this image, which is in the patch notes. Check out the link in the description if you want to check this out in more detail. Attack boats do less damage to tanks now and do slightly less damage overall, but reload faster, and attack boats now all reload at the same speed, as well as all having a magazine count of 2. Finally, a new battle pickup weapon has been added on the Operation Outbreak map, the M60 ULT. This thing has a good rate of fire and is quite powerful, but can only be hip-fired. Proper Rambo shit. So, what do you think, guys, of the changes? Feel free to leave comments. Personally, I like some stuff, such as the changes to smoke, shotguns, the squad leader system and the minimap updates, but I do not like the changes to the C4 and the SROR. The SROR was hard enough to use already. They should have done different changes in my opinion, such as make it much faster, but turn more slowly, and it should definitely still one-hit kill helis. C4 was already very difficult to place on a vehicle. It needs to be changed in the way that it's used against infantry, not vehicles, in my opinion. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope this information has been useful to you. As always, I appreciate your time, guys. Take it easy.